What is up, Goobers? We have some gaming news today that is going to get you really hyped for the PS5, but we also have some news that will make you want to throw up. So, in our last video, we saw media outlets receiving their PlayStation 5 consoles in the mail, and today, we get our first look at those unboxings. Now, from images and videos, what we can first take from these unboxings is the massive size of the console. This appears to be a very tall console when compared to the Xbox Series X and S, but it's not as wide as Microsoft's consoles, so it appears that Sony took a different architectural approach when building the PS5. Media outlets who received the PS5 also mentioned how heavy the PS5 was compared to other consoles. And thanks to Jeff Keighley, we did end up getting some metrics. The PS5 weighs in at about 9.9 pounds, and the Xbox Series X weighs in at about 9.6 pounds. So don't be expecting the PS5 to be this gigantic weight, which is what some of these content creators are making it out to be. If you're asking us, we personally don't care much about the size or the weight of the console. This would only be an issue if you're trying to store the console in a cupboard or underneath your TV. And since we don't plan to do this, we mostly just care about the performance and the cooling of the console. After all, PS4s near the end of their life cycle began to sound like a SpaceX launch was going down in your living room. Obviously, this is an exaggeration, but you know what I mean. What we also learned from these unboxings is that the DualSense charging station has a very neat design. Sony actually designed the charging station to look like a mini PS5, which is very cool. We also received an in-depth look at the new DualSense controller, which has mini triangles, circles, squares, and crosses engraved into the controller, providing an extra layer of grip. This is another small little feature that Sony has added to their line of accessories that won't revolutionize their performance, but it's still very interesting and welcomed. Now, right before we're about to put this video out, some breaking news happened, and it turns out that Cyberpunk 2077 is going to be delayed again. Cyberpunk 2077 released a tweet today informing customers that they will be pushing back the game another 21 days, making the new release date December 10th, 2020. They basically said that there's so many different consoles and platforms that they need to optimize the game for, and this is proving to be very challenging. Now, we're all for delaying games and ensuring that they're not rushed so that we're always going to get the best product possible, but you have to keep in mind that Cyberpunk has been delayed, I think it's 4 times now in 2020 alone. It was supposed to release in April, got pushed back to September, then got pushed back to November, and now is getting pushed back again to December. So it is starting to get pretty ridiculous. Cyberpunk also tweeted only a few weeks ago, guaranteeing that there's going to be no more delays. They also responded to a Twitter user just yesterday, giving him full confirmation that if you were to book off work on November 19th, the game would release on that day. So it's definitely quite clear that whoever runs the Twitter account for Cyberpunk was just as surprised as we are right now. Oh yeah, and one more thing. The issue with delaying this game, again, is the fact that expectations for the game are now set at perhaps an unreachable bar. If there are any mistakes or bugs in the game, which is very likely for a new release, it is going to be judged far more harshly than it would if there wasn't this many delays. But on the bright side, this delay will give us more time to try out other titles like Cold War, Miles Morales, or Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Alright Goobers, that is all we have for you today. Thank you very much for watching this video. Rumor has it, if you don't like and subscribe, Cyberpunk will be delayed until 2077.